Hey guys, I'll be ranking race entities by how dangerous they are if they were real. To start off, we get harmless, which is basically they don't have pain and sort of those. Then we have small injury, which is literally like pain but with no bleeding, no anything, just pain inside. And then next is bleeding, which here is going to get harmless. It's gonna be like a synonym of low injury. You know those cuts, those cut thingies. Then we have I need to go to the hospital, which is aka serious injury. Is those where your heart almost dies. You haven't died yet. And final one is death. Yeah, this is self-explanatory. You know what this is, right? Also, I'll include tar as it is considered a grace entity, and it is put in the grace entity tier list template. Yeah, that's right. I used the template. Anyways, let's get right on the video, shall we? Disclaimer, this is my personal opinion, so please don't be mad at me when I choose something wrong or that must be corrected. But you can correct me in the comments. The first entity is God, which is harmless because, like, in game, it only talks to you when you're dead. But if this applies to real life, I think if you're dead, then this will talk to you and it will not harm you. So I would put this in harmless. Next up is tempered doors. In Grace, you would try to open these by sliding. And I've seen other Roblox games do this too, such as Delusional Office, and that's the most popular game that I can find. There's a lot of Valorant games, most of them are parkour. But if this was real, I could open the door. But you know, one time I got hurt by the door because I kept on opening it and closing it, and my toe hurt. So I'm going to put this at small injury instead of harmless. We're now moving the ones that are harmful. And the next one is Carnation. Now, Carnation actually acts like a bull. You know, right? It doesn't have teeth. It charges at you until you find a hiding spot. Yeah. If that wasn't good enough, if I wasn't be able to find a hiding spot earlier in the real life, then I would be God. Because I'm guessing that you burn to death because of the flames. And I'll put this in I need to go to the hospital, as you can survive burning by healing the burn and using first aid kit. Next up is Goldman. Yeah, in Grace, when the timer is up, this entity will kill you by just hurting your eyes. If this was in real life, then the Grace place must be the same. And it will only hurt my eyes, not my whole thing. Because the jump scare is just hurting your eyes. And hurting your eyes is not that bad. Like, you would go blind, but you will be still alive. So I will have to put this in bleeding instead of death or serious injury. Because it just only hurts your eyes. Next one is light, which is an entity where you cannot look at it. If you look at it, there will be the high pitched sound. And I was thinking of this. The higher the pitch, the more your ears will burn. And if you do this 2 times, you die in the game. So I am going to put this at bleeding because it's the same as Goldman, but your ears burst and your ears bleed. That's the only thing. So I will put this before Goldman because you have to do this 2 times to make you dead. Next up is slugfish. This little entity is a fish that tries to eat you. It just goes in the straight position, and the only way to avoid it is to get out of its way. Where if this was in real life and I got eaten of it, yeah, I think I would be dead by now. Because there are fish that actually eat people. Let's imagine the slugfish as a shark. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I would put this in death. Next up is Elkman. To avoid this, you just need to not stare or just block it out of his vision. And if this was in real life, yeah, even if when I was caught, I think it would just be a blurry VHS. My eyesight will go blur. I would put this in small injury as you would just go blur. And yeah, that's it. You could just wear glasses and it would be solved. Next up is heat. Same as light, but you need to stare it. So yeah, I would still put this before slide in bleeding. Next up is dozer, which you just need to crouch before he opens his eyes. And if you don't crouch when he opens his eyes, there will be an error message. I would not imagine this. It's very hard to imagine this in real life. But since the dozer is a sun, yeah, I think it would burn your eyes. And same like Bleeding. No, not bleeding. Same like Goatman, which is, yeah, I will put this in bleeding, in between Goatman and Sight. Next off is Sorrow, which is an entity that is blood rain. It acts like blood rain. And I think if you die to it, there's a thunderstorm. There's thunder. And then I think you get struck by lightning. And yeah, lightning is very dangerous. You get there's no way to survive it. So I am going to put Sorrow and Death. Moving on to the test branch entities. Those entities that can only be accessed by the test servers. And all of them has to be modifiers. The first entity that we're gonna talk about is Lightning. Lightning is like Dozer, but many times. So I would put this at I need to go to the hospital, because it's literally multiple times by Dozer. But it doesn't have a sign. I can say that. But I think the jump scare is similar to Dozer. So that's why I'm putting it there. Next up is Doppel. To avoid Doppel, you just need to keep moving, because Doppel will actually change your moves and it can even teleport. Now, if this wasn't real life, even if he caught up to me, I would have a headache, because the jump scare is just inverted black and white pitch. I'll get a headache, but yeah, that's okay. But I'll put this in small injury, because it's you get a headache instead of one thing. Now the last 3 entities, including one that is considered an entity but not really an entity, or literally posted 3 days ago. They were updated 3 days ago. And the first one that we have here is Cuckoo. Now, Cuckoo, you must not have your you must not hold anything, literally no anything. So I would be safe. It's easy to avoid. You just have to take off your bag, take off anything, not your clothes, not your pants, but just take off anything, and I should be fine. But the thing is, if the jump scares you, I think it would be small injury, just like Doppel, because I think I would get a headache. But since most people are okay with the headache, like the jump scare, I'm gonna put this in harmless. Next up, we have the Doombringer, aka Joan. So people may keep this as a pet in real life, but in the game, when you don't close its mouth, you will, I think, explode. Yeah, you will but it only happens when you're in the same grace place. So if it happened in real life, I don't think it would happen. Even if that, even if that Joey screams, then the other person will just shut his mouth. So I'm going to put this in harmless instead of death. The next one is rule, which is like a stalker. And there'll be a sign whether you actually like able to this to know where it's staring at you, how close it is. If it touches you, you'll get the arrow jump scare. Like there's an arrow jump scare. And I was thinking about this. It might be the same as it might be the same as Doppel and Elkman. So I'm going to have to put this on small injury because of these reasons. Our last entity for today is Tar. Now, Tar is considered a hazardous entity along with tempered doors. And Tar actually works like quicksand. So, you know, I would put this in the same as quicksand. And quicksand is a small injury, so I should put that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe because if you want more content, I will do that. Alright, bye!